Yes, hi and hello, my dear students. In the previous class, we are discussing about different types of amplifiers, and in that different type of amplifiers, as we know already, based on the input signal, you have done the classification. That may be the small signal amplifier, and next one is about large signal amplifier. It means the based on the input signal, you have done the classification. It may be small signal or it may be the large signal, and also depends upon the nature of the output. You have done the classification. That is nothing but your voltage amplifier or it may be your current amplifier, because the output may be current or it may be voltage. And after that, you have studied about depending upon the frequency, you have done the classification. It may be the audio frequency amplifier, or it may be the AF amplifier, audio frequency amplifier. It may be the IF amplifier, intermediate frequency amplifier, or it may be the radio RF amplifier. That is nothing but radio frequency amplifier. Next one is about UF amplifier, that is ultra high frequency amplifier. Next one is about very high frequency amplifier, that is nothing but VHF, nothing but very high frequency amplifier. And finally, that is about your SHF, nothing but super high frequency amplifier. It means depends upon the frequency, what are the classification. That is about the different types of amplifiers. Then you are going for the Q point. Based on the Q point, also you can classify the amplifiers. It may be the where is the Q point, depends on the DC load line. Where is the Q point? You have done the classification amplifiers. It may be the class A amplifier, it may be the class B amplifier, or it may be the class AB amplifier, and finally class C amplifier. And then you are studying about the, as we know, that is so important, depends upon the configurations. It may be the common base amplifier, or it may be the common emitter amplifier, or it may be the common collector amplifier. Which one is you have done common for input as well output? You have done the classification. That is depends on the configuration. It may be common base, or it may be common emitter, or it may be the common collector. And then afterwards you have done about the coupling. What type of coupling we are using to connect the input output? You have done the, depends on the coupling, you have done the three types of amplifiers. One is called RC coupled amplifier, next one is called transformer coupled amplifier, and finally that is something but direct coupled amplifier. As we know, the RC coupled amplifier, you are using only R and C to couple, nothing but to connect one circuit to another circuit, or you connect from output to the input. That is something but you are using R and C, that is nothing but RC coupled amplifier. And if you are using transformer to connect one circuit and a circuit of input output, that is something but your transformer coupled amplifier. And finally, if you are not using any transformer or you are not using any R and C, only can connect directly one wire from output to input, that is something but direct coupled amplifier. And also by depends upon the stages. It may be the single stage amplifier, or it may be the multi-stage amplifier. It may be the single stage amplifier, or it may be the multi-stage amplifier. And then you are going for the finally about bandwidth. Depending upon the bandwidth, you have done the classification. That may be the narrow band amplifiers, and it may be the wide band amplifiers. These are the types of amplifiers. And in the last class you studied already, and also we studied about in brief about small signal amplifiers and also the large signal amplifiers. As I said, their name indicates in your small signal amplifier, in your small signal amplifiers, the important thing yesterday we discussed already, you are applying very small input signal, or any amplifier you are applying some input, especially you are applying the AC, signal as input, and you will get the output, that amplified signal will get from the output. It means if you apply any input signal, that input signal has some amplitude or some magnitude. Especially in your small signal amplifier, whatever you apply in the input signal, that input signal amplitude will be less than the Q point value of the transistor. That type of amplifier we call as the small signal amplifiers. It means in your small signal amplifiers, we are applying the input signal, that input signal having the some amplitude or some magnitude, that amplitude will be less than the Q point value. That type of amplifiers we call as the small signal amplifiers. As I said, this is also called as voltage amplifier. It is also called as voltage amplifier, because in your small signal amplifier, you are increasing the voltage level of the signal. You are increasing, you are strengthening the voltage level. It means you are getting the most voltage gain, or you get the very large voltage. And also here for your small signal amplifiers, because of it is used for the initial stages of your radio transmitter or radio receivers. You are using the initial stages of it may be radio transmitter or radio receivers. And another important thing, because of you are applying very small voltage, and because small voltage very small current, and because of voltage and current are small, no doubt you will get the power also very less. And because of very less power, and also the important thing is about the power dissipation also very less, and power efficiency also very less, and especially this you are using for the only for the voltage amplification. Whenever you want voltage amplification, you are using for the small signal amplifiers. Right? And important thing in the small signal amplifier, we are applying very small signal. Because of very small signal, the current also voltage very small, current also very small. That's why yesterday I said about to get the power nearly less than 1 watt. We get the power less than 1 watt, and also the power efficiency also very less, and also the important thing is about power dissipation also very less. And this is about the importance. Yesterday I said about the beta value also very less, and important thing, your base section or base region is very thin as compared to the emitter and collector. This is about the importance of your small signal amplifiers. And also another one is about large signal amplifier. Another one is about large signal amplifier. Large signal amplifier, as the name indicates, in your large signal amplifier, the important thing, you are applying very large input signal. You are applying very large input signal. And here large means how much large. Especially here also same, you are applying some input signal. That input signal has some amplitude. That amplitude of the signal will be more than the Q point value. You are applying some input signal. That input signal amplitude will be more than the Q point value of the transistor. That is something but your large signal amplifier. It is also called as power amplifier. It is also called as power amplifier. Why it is called power amplifier? Because in this large signal amplifier, you are increasing the power level of the input signal. You are increasing the power level of the input signal. And as I said already, in your small signal amplifier, you are increasing the voltage level. That's what is called voltage amplifiers. But in your large signal amplifier, you are increasing the power level of the input signal. That is what is called as large signal amplifier. Another name of large signal amplifier, it is called power amplifier. Because as I said, you are applying very more voltage, and you are applying very more, because of more voltage you get more current, and if you are having more voltage, more current, you get the more power. That's why I said power is we are having the more than 1 watt. And also, as you are using this large signal amplifiers in the last stage of your transmitter receivers. In your transmitter or receivers, you are using the last stage of the transmitter receivers. And also you are having, because of more power handling capacity, and also efficiency, the power efficiency is also very more. And important thing, it is having good impedance matching. It is having the good impedance matching. These are the importance about your low signal amplifiers. The important thing, you are increasing the power level of the signal, and because of that reason the power efficiency also very more, and you are applying very low signal, and you are having the very more power, that is more than 1 watt, and also it is having the good impedance matching. These are the important, and here as I said yesterday, I said about the beta value is more than the beta value very more, and also that base region is very thick. These are the, and also the power dissipation also very more. These are the importance of your low signal amplifiers. And today we go for the another most important thing. What are the important parameters? What are the important characteristics of your amplifiers? Actually, you are studying in detail about all the types of amplifiers. In that amplifier, what are the important parameters? While studying the amplifier, what you have to give the importance parameters? What you have to give the importance about the which parameter you have to give the importance? As we know already, the important parameters, the important parameters of your amplifiers, or you can say the important characteristics of your amplifiers. As we know already, the most important thing in your overall the parameters, which one is most important? The one thing important, that is your gain. Always we want more gain. Always we want more gain. And what is the meaning of gain? Means the ability of the amplifier. The gain nothing but the ability of the amplifier, how much it will be amplify the signal with respect to input signal. The gain indicates the ability of the amplifier, how much the amplifier will amplify the signal. That is given by the gain. And as we know, in general, the definition of gain is about gain nothing but it is the ratio of output to the input. It is the ratio of output to the input. And as we know, yesterday also said, in overall electronics, we are giving more importance to the three important things. That is about one important thing is about current. One important thing we are giving importance to the first one is called the voltage, and second one is about current, and third one is about power. These are the important parameters of your, it may be any your oscillator, it may be any rectifier, it may be any your amplifiers. In overall, you are giving importance to the voltage, current, and your power. That's why I said yesterday's class, our electronics is called VIP, because you can say about VI, that is nothing but the P. And we were measuring the gain. Now only said, what is called voltage gain? It is the first important parameter of amplifiers. That is your voltage gain. What is voltage gain? Now only said, it is a ratio of output voltage to the input voltage, because you are measuring the voltage gain. That's why the gain nothing but output to the input. Now you are measuring the voltage gain, that becomes the output voltage to the input voltage. That is something but your voltage gain. The voltage gain is the ratio of the output voltage to the input voltage. Because both are same units, you are not having any unit for this voltage gain. Then similarly go for the current gain. Similarly go for the current gain. What is current gain? The current gain it is also called as EV, that is something but V naught by VI. It is also called as AV, that is something but V naught by VI. V naught nothing but output voltage to the input voltage. In the same way, the current gain is also called as the output current to the input current. output current to the input current. That is nothing but your current gain. And this also can write about AI equal to yes I naught by the output current to the input current. This also you are not having any unit for this because both will cancel. This is nothing but voltage gain, this is nothing but current gain. And once we know the voltage gain, current gain, it is very easy to find out the power gain. And what about the power gain? The power gain is nothing but yes, the power gain is nothing but your power gain. Yes, here also same. We are measuring the power of the input as well as output. We are measuring the power of the input as well as output. And here the power gain is nothing but the output power to the input power. The output power to the input power. That is nothing but your power gain. And also you can write about the AP. AP nothing but power gain. That is nothing but AV into AI. Because as we know already, the P is equal to V into I. As you know the basic relation about power, that is nothing but V into I. It means in power gain, the output power to the input power, I can write about AP nothing but the power gain is equal to AV into AI, AV nothing but the voltage gain into the current gain. That is nothing but your power gain. Power gain. Then you go for the another important thing is about your input impedance. What is another important parameter? That is about your input impedance. Input impedance. Actually, you have studied in first year. The impedance nothing but the opposition offered by the circuit to the pole of the AC current or AC voltage. Especially for your in any amplifiers, we know about the what is the input impedance, what is the output impedance. These are also important parameters of your amplifier. And first you go for the input impedance. It is also called as ZI. It is also called as ZI. And how we can measure the input impedance? The ZI is nothing but it is also ratio of the, yes, we know the Ohm's law, that is VI to the II. The input voltage to the input current. What is nothing but the input impedance is nothing but it is the ratio of the input voltage to the input current. In another way of input impedance nothing but the total opposition offered by the amplifier to the input circuit. What is called input impedance? Because I said impedance nothing but the opposition offered by the circuit. Especially for your amplifiers, the input impedance nothing but the total opposition offered by the amplifier to the input circuit or towards the input section. That is nothing but the input impedance. The total opposition offered by the amplifier to the input section or input side is nothing but the input impedance, and that is nothing but your VI. And as we know, this is nothing but your you can measure the impedance by using your ohms. The measurement for impedance is your ohms. Similarly, go for the output impedance. The output impedance is nothing but the, or you can write about output impedance. That is nothing but what is called output impedance. It is also called Z0. And here also it is a ratio of the, yes, it is a ratio of the output voltage to the output current, because we know about R. R is nothing but resistance. According to Ohm's law, you can write V by I, because you are going for the output impedance, output voltage to the output current, output voltage to the output current. And also you can another way of output impedance. It is also saying the total opposition offered by the amplifier to the output section, to the output section. That is something but your output impedance. The output impedance, because it is the ratio of the output voltage to the output current or the total opposition offered by the amplifier towards the output section. That is something but your output impedance. Then you go for another most important thing about your bandwidth. What is called your bandwidth? This is also most important thing about your amplifiers. What is called your bandwidth? As you studied in the first year, especially in your AC circuits, AC applied to the passive components. Right? You studied already is AC applied to the passive components or DC applied to passive components. That time you studied about the bandwidth. Actually, the bandwidth is nothing but we can write about BW. It is nothing but the FH minus FL. It is a difference between the higher frequency minus the lower frequency. The bandwidth is nothing but the FH minus FL. FH nothing but the higher frequency and FL nothing but the lower frequency. And the difference of higher frequency minus lower frequency, I can say about the higher cutoff frequency minus lower cutoff frequency. Another way of bandwidth. Actually, the bandwidth is nothing but the range of frequency, the band of frequency up to the voltage gain is equal to the 70.7% of the maximum gain. You can write about the band of range of frequency, the range of frequency, the voltage gain will be equal to or greater than 70.7% of maximum gain. Another way of your bandwidth, the bandwidth nothing but a range of frequencies, the voltage gain will be equal to or greater than the 70.7% of the maximum gain. This is also another way of your bandwidth. One thing important, bandwidth is also called as the difference of higher frequency or lower frequency. It is also called as higher cutoff frequency and lower cutoff frequency. Another way of bandwidth is nothing but the range of frequency, the band of frequency, the voltage gain is will be equal to or the more than the 70.7% of the maximum gain. And actually here another way of what is the importance of bandwidth? Especially the bandwidth indicates the how much the effectively the amplifier will having the how the amplify the signals. The bandwidth indicates the range of frequencies, the you can say about gain will be constant. How much range of frequency the gain will be constant, or how much range of frequency the amplifier will amplify the signal effectively. Once again repeat, what is the importance of bandwidth? The bandwidth nothing but range of frequency, the up to which the gain will be constant, or another way of bandwidth, the bandwidth nothing but the range of frequencies the amplifier will effectively amplify the signals. How much frequency range your amplifier will amplify the signals, that range is given by your bandwidth. The bandwidth indicates the range of frequencies the amplifier will how much effectively amplify the signals, that is nothing but your bandwidth. And here what is called your higher cutoff frequency and lower cutoff frequency, especially the higher cutoff frequency nothing but it is a particular frequency. In that frequency the gain will be equal to 70.7% of the maximum gain. Actually this FH and FLR is also called as half power frequencies. It is also called as half power frequencies. The FH and FL are also called as half power frequencies, because why we call it half power frequency? In this frequency your power will be half of the maximum power. Why we call as half power frequency? Because in your FH and FL the power will be half of the maximum power. The power will be half of the maximum power. It is called half power frequency because power will be half of the maximum value. This is about the importance of your bandwidth. Now we'll go for another most important thing about the how to measure or what is the unit of gain. You have studied about different types of gains. It may be the voltage gain, or it may be power gain, or it may be current gain, and you are studying about different types of gains. And as we know already, it may be the current gain, or it may be power gain, or it may be the voltage gain. Actually, you consider the voltage gain, that is nothing but AV, that is nothing but V naught by VI. In the same way, consider AI, that is nothing but I naught to the II. You look here, these two quantities are the same quantities. That's why if you consider the voltage above and below the same quantities, you are not having any unit for this. You are, because of similar quantities, you are not getting any unit for this. Then how to find what is the unit of your gain? Actually, if you consider linear scale, you are not having any unit for this because both the quantities are the same. We are not having any unit for the gain. But if you consider the logarithmic scale, if you want to make it, or if you want to give the unit to the gain, that is possible in your logarithmic, it is not possible in linear scale. If you consider the logarithmic scale, you are having the unit for the gain. Actually, gain is having the unit called decibel. The unit for your gain is nothing but decibel. Actually, I said if you consider the linear scale, you are not having any unit for the gain. If you consider the logarithmic scale, the gain having the unit, that unit is nothing but your decibel. The unit for the gain is nothing but decibel, and decibel, it is a logarithmic unit. The decibel, it is an logarithmic unit. Logarithmic unit. And especially the gain of the, you can say another way is about this called bell. The gain of the, you can say bell, or you can say bell. The unit of gain is in logarithmic is about bell. And why do you call it bell? Because maybe you are remembering who invented the telephone, the most important scientist, that is nothing but Graham Bell. The Graham Bell invented the telephone, and because of invention of telephone, in the inventor of telephone is about Graham Bell. That's why they are given their name for the gain, that is nothing but bell. Actually, the bell is very large unit. The bell is very large unit. That's why you consider the decibel. The bell is very large unit. That's why you consider the decibel. You consider the decibel. And what is called decibel? What is called decibel? It is a 1/10 of fraction of the bell. The decibel nothing but 1/10 of the decibel is nothing but 1/10 of the fraction of the bell. It means it is not possible in general to give the unit for the gain, but it is possible if you use a logarithmic scale. The bell is the unit for the gain in logarithmic scale, and bell is very large unit. That's why you consider decibel. It is a fraction of 1/10 of the bell. And especially, as I said here, you are measuring especially if you want to mention the decibel, the decibel in power gain, decibel equal to 10 log P naught by PR, or can I output to the input. As we know the power gain, and power gain in decibels, you can say about AP in decibel, you can write dB, that is nothing but 10 log, it is a common logarithmic of output power to the input power, output power to the input power. In the same way, you can also mention your voltage gain and current gain in terms of the dB. Yes, you see about voltage gain and current gain in terms of your dBs. First you go for the voltage gain. The voltage gain you can measure, as we know about voltage gain, you can symbolically, that is nothing but AV in dBs, that is nothing but 20 log V0 by Vi, or you can write about 20 log AV. This is about the voltage gain in dBs. In the same way, you can go for the current gain in dBs. I can write about AI in dBs, that is nothing but 20 log, yes, I0 by II, or you can write about 20 log AI. It means you can mention the voltage gain, current gain or power gain in terms of dBs. In the same way I said already, the power gain by using the dB, that is your EP equal to is the 10 log, yes, the 10 log P0 by Pi, or you can write about 10 log into AB. This is about the importance of dBs. Actually, as I said here, you are not having the in general unit for the gain, because the both the quantity are the same. If you want to give the unit to the gain, that is possible in logarithmic. Especially the bell is a logarithmic unit for the gain. The bell is a logarithmic unit for the gain. And as I said, bell is very large unit. That's why we can consider the decibel. And what is decibel? It is a 1/10 of the fraction of the bell. And why we are giving the name bell? Because of the telephone is invented by your Graham Bell. That's why they are given about their name. That is for the gain. That is something about your bell or decibel. And now I said about importance of decibel. Other than this gain, where you are using this decibel. I said about to measure the gain, you are using about the decibel or bell. You are using decibel only. And another parameter. Now we are going for the amplifiers. We are measuring the gain. Also in amplifier, you can measure the attenuation. How much the signal attenuated. That attenuation of signal also you can calculate by measure by using the dBs. If you are measuring the gain of amplifier, we are using the unit called dB. If you are measuring the another parameter, it may be attenuation. How much the output attenuated. We can measure the attenuation of the signal. That is also possible by using your dBs. And also you are studying in further chapters the noise figure or signal to noise ratio, or especially in communication you are using about this dBs or about this decibels to measure the noise signal to noise ratio, to measure the, if you want to compare the two power levels, or if you want to measure the sound, if you want to measure the sound or intensity of sound, also possible by using your dBs. You can measure the intensity of a sound by using your dBs. This is about the importance of dBs. And finally, why you are using the dBs? What is the importance of dB? Or you can say about what are the advantages of your dBs? What are the advantages of dBs, or what are the importance of dBs? Importance of the dBs, or you write about what are the need for the decibel. As I said already, the most important thing, our human being having the ear, that ear responds, the ear respond logarithmically. In everybody having this is in general, the ears of a human being, will be, we can measure by using the logarithmic unit. The ear responds to the logarithmically. The ear responds logarithmically. I can say about, especially in our amplifiers, whatever they get the amplifier output, that amplifier output will give to the loudspeakers. Whatever the output of any amplifier will given to the loudspeakers, and the loudspeaker will give the sound. And while measuring the sound, especially the loudness of the sound, will be, or I can say about the loudness of the intensity of sound will be, especially I said about what is the importance of dB. I said our ear will be responding, that is nothing but the logarithmically. And as we know, the unit of logarithm is nothing but dB. And as we know already, the intensity of sound here by our ear is not to the intense sound, because it is the intensity of logarithmic sound. Once again repeat, don't confuse here. As I said here, your loudspeaker will give the some sound. How much the sound, it may be loud, how much the quality of the sound, that intensity of the sound is here by our ear is logarithmically, not by natural intensity of the sound. We'll get the sound from the loudspeaker. That sound will be heard by our ear. That hearing sound of the ear is according to the logarithmic, not according to the intensity of sound. Directly it is not allowing directly intense sound, but it is according to the logarithmic intensity of sound. Our ears can hear the intensity of a sound from logarithmically, not by using the intensity of sound directly. Right? This is about the importance of your dBs. Another important thing in your amplifiers, if you are using more amplifiers, that is nothing but if you are using cascaded amplifiers, or you are using more than one amplifiers. If you want to measure the gain for the amplifiers, especially we are having so many stages, and to find the overall gain in the so many stages, actually you are using in general about product of individual sections. If you use the dBs, we can go for the add individual stages. Another important thing about what is the importance of dB? If you are using more than one stage, and if you want to find the gain of each stage, that is in general you are multiplying the gains, but if you use the dBs, you can add the gains, because as you know, gain is measured by using logarithmic, and in logarithmic the multiplication log m into n is nothing but log m into n, nothing but log m plus n, log m plus log n. Right? This is basic property of logarithmic. It means if you are using more than one stage of amplifiers, if you want to find the gain for individual stages, in that time how to find the gain? That is very simple. If you use the logarithmic scale, or if you use your decibel scale, it is very simple to add the individual gain stages. And this is also one important about why we are using the dBs. And finally, if the voltage gain may be very small value or if it may be very large value, also we can mention by using dBs. The voltage gain or current gain may be very large value or may be very small value. Also you can measure by using your dBs. Right? These are the important things about dBs. The most important thing, our ear responds logarithmically. Our ear responds logarithmically. It means the intensity of sound here by our ear is logarithmically, not directly intensity of sound given by your loudspeaker. And especially you consider the intensity of sound given by the speaker is 100 times. The intensity of the sound given by the loudspeaker is 100 times, but our ear can handle doubling effect, because you know all 10 to the base 100 is nothing but 2. It is called doubling effect. Doubling effect. It means if the intensity of sound is 100 times, then how our ear can respond for them is nothing but our ear, because I said our ear respond logarithmically. If the intensity sound is increased 100 times, and because logarithmically the common logarithm of log 10 base to the base 10 100 is equal to 2, it means our ear can hear doubling effect. This is about another important thing about dBs. The most important thing, whenever you are using the more than one stage, cascade nothing but you are using more than one stage, in that time if you want to find the gain for individual stages, that is possible by using your dBs, because can directly add the individual stages. And also, as I said about if you are using if the value of voltage gain or current gain may be very small or it may be very large, that is possible to mention here very easily by using your dBs. This is about the importance of another important thing. I said so many times, don't confuse. Our ears can respond logarithmically. It means if the amplifier will give the sound and how much the loudness of sound, it is heard by our ear, that is logarithmically, not by using according to the intensity of the sound. This is about the importance of dBs. In the tomorrow class, it is so important topic. This I said about important parameters of your amplifiers. In the tomorrow onwards, you start about as I said about you started already in brief about small signal amplifiers and large signal amplifiers. In the tomorrow class, it is also so important 5-mark question. What are the types of single stage amplifiers? As I said, first you go for the depending on configuration. As we know, you were discussed yesterday and also today also said about the common base, common emitter and common collector amplifiers. In the tomorrow class, you go for in detail about the common base amplifier. Thank you.